Hi crafty friends, this is card number 21 in Full Deck Challenge 3. I have my postage stamp, which is my constant, and then my carryover item from last week's card is the scribble paper that I used in parts of her dress. Today I'm using the actual card colors to guide me, so I'm going with red, black and white. I've gathered a few items in those colors. Today I'm keeping it really simple. I've chosen a piece of this ledger paper as my background, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut up my card. This is probably not something that you were expecting, but don't be afraid to try totally new things. I'm going to use another card as a template to cut a base, and I'm going to cut it slightly larger than the card, only by 2 millimeters or so. This style of card was inspired by Francesca from Junk Journal Joy when she did a card for my challenge in a previous deck. Now, using a few pieces of the card, my scribble piece, my stamp, and a few other little random bits, I'm going to put it together like a puzzle. Not your everyday typical puzzle, because the pieces don't fit together and don't even match, but there are no rules into how you interpret the prompt. I'm trying to get a balance of color. There's quite a bit of red with the diamonds from the card face. I need something slightly darker. I'm going to use this dark gray with the spots. And then I thought this color was pretty perfect. It's from a magazine and it's a deep red with some white writing. And it actually matches my postage stamp pretty well. So I'm going to put a piece of that too. Now, while we're on the subject of cutting up, this is next week's prompt. I want you to go totally outside your comfort zone and in some way cut up your card and then put it back together. So the prompt for next week is cut up. And by that I mean the actual playing card. I'm happy with the placement of all my pieces, but before I glue them down, I'm going to add a little bit of gold leaf. This will allow a little bit of gold to shine through in between the pieces as I've left a gap between them. So adding some glue stick to the background paper, I'm then placing some gold leaf on top. I thought it would look really pretty with the gold shining through in between some of the pieces. And now I'm going to use Mod Podge to stick down all my other pieces. I'm using Mod Podge because it's a bit sturdier than just using a glue stick, and the plain card is pretty thick and it might not stick well over time. You could also use gel medium or a craft glue. So it's never too late to join in the full deck challenge. This is deck 3, but you can join on any deck and with any card at any time. I will put a link to the playlists of the other 2 decks in the description box below. And also, if you're on Facebook, you can join my group there. Just search Full Deck Challenge Group. Now I wanted to add a little bit more interest to this piece, so I'm going to add some black splatter with watered down black acrylic paint. I dried that well, and then when I placed it back on my card, I wasn't sure if I should actually use that or use a plain piece. I tossed between the two for a bit and then decided to go with the splattered one, as it was sort of my initial idea, so I decided just to go with it. I could have left it like this at this point, but I took it to my sewing machine to add lots of texture. I did continuous stitching all the way around and in between all the squares, and I also did some bunched up thread, and I've left the threads hanging. If you know my style, I love that messy look. I'm going to add a little bit of masking tape in just certain sections. I wanted to bring that background color, that vintagey beige color, to the top a little bit, and I thought masking tape would be the best for that. It also softens the overall look. Let me show you a close-up of the card, and you can see that beautiful gold peeping through underneath those pieces. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I really hope you enjoyed this card and were inspired to create your own and maybe even join in the full deck challenge. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you're notified every time I upload new content. Thanks again for watching, happy creating, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!